All right, well, welcome back for game two. Game dose, as some might call it. But we're going to actually see the Jace ban come out right away from Curse. They're like, screw that Jace. We're tired of taking damage before we even get into a team fight. We're going to ban that one out. Don't want any more of that.
That was
yeah, I
fully
mean,
expected.
yeah.
It was pretty dominant. Might even see the CF. I don't know. They might leave that one though.
Yeah, or will we see the Elise ban? Because actually, they were giving Hawkeye props for Elise, at least already. Although maybe they'll build up his his head, make it a little big, and then bait him into an Elise pick. Nope, ban. So they don't want to have to deal with that Elise again. But Hawkeye, I'm sure, has some other champions up his sleeve that he's gonna unveil for us. So should be fun to see. Also interested to see if we'll see a crazy bot lane. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they want to keep that one, or if they want to use it here.
I don't know. Who knows? We're gonna have to wait and see. Shannon actually gonna be the last ban coming out here, and a Sona ban. So apparently they felt like Sona was a little bit of an issue last game too, banning it out. And first pick off the bat is a J4, so they've actually grabbed J4 themselves. And Kha'Zix getting pick up the assassin of assassins, reset, that kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah, Kha'Zix is really strong. I didn't see him a lot in the LCS. I was kind of surprised there was a lot less of him. But still a really strong champ. Gets those resets sometimes and just able to snowball out of them.
Yeah, just wreaks havoc on your team and across the way on his as back. We're going to see Sajani, which we saw earlier on today, and Sajani actually did a really good job in our earlier games that we did see in here. And hate bans for the win. That's what Hawkeye says out here. And, ooh, we're gonna see a Syndra because we saw a little bit. We saw a peek of her from CLG's team. And we saw Link just absolutely light up Reginald with that. Actually, the whole TSM team was pretty unprepared for dealing with Syndra. And yeah, we're going to see her come in this game, which should be actually pretty exciting.
Yeah, she did have the highest level 6 burst of the game. I'm not sure if she does still.
Yeah, I think she still does.
Really bursty champ. It's kind of hard to hit all the skills.
Yeah.
But if you can, it's pretty devastating. We also had the hate pick of the Jarvan taken away from Curse, who had it last game.
Yep. And, he's obviously when we talked about how valuable he can be to a team, that game was able to get behind, was kind of picked on, so didn't see him fully come into that game, but definitely a champion that can just make complete, plays for his team, carry a game if he wants to, out of the jungle or top lane. So we'll just see what they decide to do him, how if Chops ends up playing or if they switch him off to their jungler, what they decide to do with that. But should be pretty good. Should be pretty good. And Curse Zombie side wanted to stick with that MF, felt pretty good about it last game. Just wanted to remove that Sona apparently, and that was all they needed to maybe try to close this one out. It's going to be up against the Caitlyn with that long auto attack range. Should be interested to see who they pair up with. And that is a Rengar. So, hated rivals on the same team as each other, not even versing each other. This is like Leap Assassin Fest NA. That's what's going to happen right now.
I think somebody ran Volibear Zillion today at LCS too. It might have been Gambit, I think, that did it. And that didn't go well for them, so hopefully these two enemies can do a lot better.
Hopefully they can just come together. Keep your enemies close.
Yeah, they're not going to get those secret passives, unfortunately.
Yeah, not going to be able to pick up that, but either way,
I think they get a taunt or two, though.
Yeah, I think it should be interesting to see, because what we're definitely banking on here is that you're just going to see Hawkeye and Talix, or I guess if he plays Rengar, just diving unmercifully onto the backlines, trying to get to Syndra and some other teammates. But we'll see how well that works out for them. Don't quite know, but they have a lot of stealth and leap mechanics, so should be able to try to get to that backline. Plus, they have a nice little setup, initiate Artist and Sejuani, so should be good to see. And then we're going to see the Pantheon pick. Yes, it is going to be Pantheon, so Pantheon's going to be making some plays around the map.
This could be an aggressive game. The bot lane last game really wasn't a big factor, and I don't really expect it to be this game unless one of those already picked characters ends up being a support. which is a possibility, but I don't expect it to come out.
Yeah, I mean, what we pretty much saw last time is, they kind of, CS stayed pretty even, and then when they got the team fights, they made minor alterations, but really the game was much about the mid lanes and the top lane, at least for security metrics that game. Definitely had huge advantages early and snowballed them very, very well for their team.
Yeah, the junglers had a pretty big impact too.
Yeah.
On both teams.
The first blood coming in from J4, at least for Curse, helping out there, teaming up with Hawkeye.
We're going to see another Thresh, probably.
Yeah, I mean, Thresh has been making plays all day for us as casters and spectators. So
really like that pick against this team. Just because you can yank someone out who's trapped. Or who's about to get dunked by Pantheon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I really like that pick.
Grab my hand.
Yep.
Yeah, should be actually really good. So yeah, it's a smart pickup. And again, Thresh, one of those champions that when you put him into a team setting can really, really excel for your team. We've seen some really cool initiates. I actually saw some cool initiates earlier today between Thresh and Sejuani, actually specifically, I believe, where he threw Sejuani, caught up and then dove in. And you could have lots of in-lane ganks that are pretty big that way as well. So
yeah. Well, I mean, you can throw the lantern behind and throw a hook out front, and Sejuani can just come in out of nowhere and be in the fight. So we could see that kind of stuff coming out. I still expect most of the action to be focused on mid and top, though. And I hope to see a quick all-in from Pantheon early in what will probably be the top lane.
Yeah, I'd have to
suspect sure how they're going to run that.
Yeah,
actually, if it's going to be against Rengar, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a lot of really good choices to throw people around. I mean, for the most part. I mean, because Kha'Zix and Rengar are just both like really big bullies in that lane, in those mids and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. I know that Hawkeye did message me there, and he was like, "AP is so season 2." And so yeah, we're gonna see the AD pain being brought in this game.
Yeah, I wonder how many. Hopefully they don't over cleaver, and they remember Last Whisper is a good item too. Because we have seen that in some games with 3 black cleavers coming out. Guys, there was not a lot of armor in that game. Make sure you keep that in mind when you're building that item. Brutalizer is a good item on almost all those characters, but you don't have to upgrade it right away. There are other items in the game. It's not as OP as it was when it came out.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting though that like these extremes that Riot kind of inadvertently brought about changed the meta because people then played them more. The fact that Black Cleaver came out and then AD was so strong is the reason we see a lot of AD casters now in mid lane. And before it was kind of like a niche thing, was a solo queue thing, but never really trickled up or trickled down. So
it gave them a lot of power. It made things a lot more interesting because obviously we had AP tops and we still do have AP tops. And so it just kind of, shifted the meta, made it a little more diverse, and it makes things more exciting. That's why we started seeing those team comps, things like Renekton coming out, because he has a pretty big armor shred just built into his kit. And yeah, it made for some really interesting games. It seems to kind of be returning back to normal now, but we do see the Kha'Zix mid quite often still, and without any AP. We'll have to see how it works out this game without really... I don't think any of those characters really have any built-in shred. But, yeah, we'll probably see 2 Black Cleavers and a bunch of Last Whispers, depending on if we actually see some armor.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what how Security Metrics decides to deal with this. Although, they've been playing pretty solid, so it'll be interesting to see how the lanes work out. If the lanes end up again, like 70-30, like we saw the first game. I mean, we don't even have to really have the conversation about what they're gonna build because they're gonna be really big ahead again. And we'll also see that if they do have Pantheon roaming around here, a la like similar to Twisted Fate, could be pretty effective. Although not quite the same kind of roam that you typically see from him as you do from champions, like Twisted Fate, who can actually, jump down to a lane a lot quicker. Pantheon has like a little bit of a show that follows what he wants to do. Little song and dance.
Yes, it does. We interesting to see if Pantheon decides to go tanky or just decides to go man mode all damage, because that can be pretty devastating. I play quite a bit of Pantheon, and I don't really like to take him tanky because he's got a little bit of tankiness built in, and if you just go straight damage, he zones people with his skills, so you're able to just get away with a minimum amount of tankiness and just able to pretty much dunk people all over the map.
So interesting enough, we're actually seeing 2 heals come in on the AD carry and AP mid for security metrics, which actually is a pretty good pickup. Heal actually really efficient now, especially for lane partners as well, since it gives actually full heal to both of you now instead of reduced. So
Yeah.
actually pretty good option over exhaust. A lot of people are talking like, unless you really have someone hard AD that you have to shut down, taking heal over exhaust might be a good idea in a lot of cases. And there's 2 ignites on the board for those heals, but overall I still think they could be used pretty effectively. So we'll have to see how that works out for them.
Yeah, we're still seeing exhaust on pretty much all the supports. I wonder if that's going to change at any point. But the ADs are really starting to take quite a variety. Like, Ignite is not the greatest choice for them anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of them still just take it because that's what they're used to. But at the high levels, we're seeing most people going with Cleanse and a few people going into Barrier as well. So we do have a Cleanse here on MF. See if... I guess it'll get out of... It might just be because of Tarek, but there's a few other champions where it'll matter.
Yeah, obviously, interesting how they're going to set up these lanes. It looks like Rengar is going to be top, which makes sense because he's going to have a lot of brush to work with for his passive, and Kha'Zix in this mid lane. Probably see Kha'Zix evolve Spines first, I'm guessing, just so he can have some pushing power and farming power. But we'll have to see what he decides to go. We saw the super hyper-aggressive one last week, I believe, or maybe it was last weekend, where it was basically the evolved Claws first, and we're just like super hyper-aggressive with that. But we'll have to see where he goes. I enjoy Kha'Zix just because he actually does have a lot of paths you can go with upgrading his abilities. He's a pretty fun champion.
Yeah, I've enjoyed playing him recently. I picked him up a little while ago, and a few games I have played, I've played him a few times, and it's been good times.
So we see Tarek probably going a little bit more tanky in his runes and masters there, where Thresh definitely going down that heavy down the utility tree, getting the biscuit and the Explorer Ward. Going to be rocking those. See if he actually gets any use out of that early Explorer Ward, or how he decides to use it, because that is pretty important if you're going to spend a point in it, how and where you do use it beyond just like a free ward that's pretty short. But has a lot of wards down there, so it should have some decent protection in that bot lane.
Yeah, I'd probably use it for maybe even just a level 2 lane bush ward, get a little bit of a grab, see what can happen.
Yeah, could see that come out of there. Chops actually rotating around just from his blue buff. So Johnny really, really low here after that clear. So see what she's going to decide to do. Just probably chug some health pots, get a little bit extra health as she rotates over towards that Wraith camp. And this mid lane's going to be interesting to watch how that dynamic plays out between Fragbait, Elite, and Hawkeye in that mid lane. Because Hawkeye was pretty much a star for his team. I think his Kha'Zix, I'm guessing his Kha'Zix is going to be pretty on par as well, or above average. So excited to see him put some pressure on Syndra. Kind of a new fan favorite champion I expect to see a lot of after LCS games.
Yeah. Yeah, she's kind of tough to play. But like I said, she has insane bursts if her skills hit.
Yeah, I mean, she has huge potential. And I think she's a fun champion because she's another one of those champions that Riot tried to make another fun AP that didn't quite work out right as well, because these champions that are difficult to learn right off the bat are champions that usually don't see a lot of love or reach that top tier of competitive play for a while, until people have had time in the lab to work on them and get them set up to the level they need to be. But the fact that she has a huge range, like stun and a lot of burst potential, just means that she is a champion that needs to be worked on and brought into the fold, and we've seen a little bit of it so far. Rengar trying to get in a little bit of a trade there. Sejuani sitting here, but we see Jarvan coming down, and they know this is here. So here's the collapse is on. Red buff in tow. Will they be able to take down Zilith? They're trying as best as they can. Flash out by Jarvan. Who will the first blood go to? And it looks like it is going to be Jarvan picking up that first blood with a little bit of spear poke on the way out. But oh, Piltover Peacemaker coming through. Flash after auto attacks a minion first. That's not what they want. Gets actually pulled a little bit closer to this fortune. Now they're focusing back onto Truck Boat. Going to take a little bit of damage from that turret. Not quite able to execute anyone else. But Rengar is actually rotated down here, dealing a little bit of damage, and Hawkeye's going to be a little bit late into the fray to try to put some damage on Fragbait Elite. But I think if they coordinate that just a hair better, might have been able to pick up a kill there in that mid lane.
Yeah, Thresh threw out the lantern for Sejuani, but Sejuani decided that she didn't want to take it.
Boar mode?
Yeah, boar mode, and that didn't work out so well.
Whew, another ignite and damage coming in onto Fragbait Elite in mid lane. Actually saw her pop both summoners, flash and heal right there. Jarvan coming in though. Will he be able to pick up a kill there? Applying that red buff as much as he can. They don't quite have enough, and Pantheon picking up a kill in that top lane in the meantime. Happened really quick. I'm going to hop back a second, try to check out.
I'm going to watch that one as well.
And see how that all unfolded.
Just saw the end. There's the beginning. There we go. Rengar jumps on. Pantheon catches with the sun, puts the ignite down, gets one last spear, and with the passive, takes him down.
A lot of pressure in this mid lane currently. Hawkeye taking a little bit of harass there, a little bit of bullying, and actually a timeout coming in. So looks like someone probably DC'd somewhere in the midst of all of that. Maybe it was Rengar, but probably not.
He was running away. I don't think that's the case.
But we should see how this, because at least how this is early started off is security metrics, definitely with the first few kill lead. But Curse trying to make some plays. We can see they're being heavily aggressive in this lane, but haven't quite been able to pick up anything yet. And just, you know, that the early first blood down the bottom lane definitely giving Chops some early advantage here. And it's going to be scary again. If Jarvan gets ahead, he just really dictate fights. But security metrics in general has shown a propensity for being able to get up big. Although it looks in this mid lane, they've actually been able to deal with Fragbait Elite pretty well. We also have the CS doubled for Hawkeye here in this mid lane of all that pressure they've been able to put on her, having her blow multiple summoner spells. They still have her flash and her heal down, so that is something they can look for if they want to pick off ganks. Actually, they also have Caitlyn's flash down for a pretty good amount of time, so could see something happen in that bot lane as well. Have to see if they can break their way in. All the flashes and everything down, at least for Curse's side.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity around the map. We'll have to see who picks it up. Jarvan's doing a really good job. Chops on Jarvan. Just being able to create a lot of opportunities for people. See if he can continue that once we get back into the game.
Yep. People in chat joking that Fragbait had to use the bathroom and told him they should have used it before they started, but maybe they're waiting on it. I really have to go to the bathroom. That'd be like the best time stoppage ever in a tournament. It's like, no, I really gotta go. How bad do you want this best of 3? Good times. So yeah, having a good night. You know, getting some extended extra games worked in here. Wasn't expecting an NVIDIA game, but now we also have a best of 3 between Curse and Security Metrics. So fun little duel here. Looks like Security Metrics a little bit on top early. But if we know anything from the last game, Curse has some fight in him, so there's definitely going to be some plays made. And with a Rengar and a Kha'Zix on the board, you have to expect some fireworks. Going to be some cool plays, plus the Lantern Thresh plays. Shouldn't be too disappointed from those, I'm guessing. Looking at item builds, Thresh still holding on to that Explorer Ward. He's shifting around in his build order, still hold on to it. There's going to be a key moment that's going to come into play. You wait. It's going to happen. He's going to all chat worth it, and it's going to be glorious. Glorious. So how do you feel about the LCS that you've been watching, man? Oh, we're going to get started. Never mind. Don't have to talk about LCS.
No. We can talk about this game. Jarvan going towards the tower, gonna back away.
Like a scaredy cat. I heard that. I'm going in now. Only if. could prod players into doing what you wanted them to do.
I think I'm 1 second off live. Oh well. It's not letting me get up to it.
Yeah, new pound.
Oh, there we go.
Farming it up like a boss. In the spot lane, pretty much free farming at this point. Misfortune's going to run down and be ahead of Thresh, so she's actually going to have to be a little bit careful in the spot lane. It looks like Jarvan kind of creeping around, thinking about a lane gank, trying to get position here. And just to see, I think they're going to see him with that ward. So yeah, Misfortune definitely going to be safe here. Pink ward going down in this brush kind of like that, so he knows that there won't be vision there. Unfortunately, this ward just above Dragon saw him, and I think it's just out of his vision ward, which it is. It's just a little bit out of his vision, so not going to be able to see that ward, and they know he's there unless they get impatient.
Yes. I probably would.
Does happen a lot. They're like, there's no way that guy actually has the patience to sit there how long. Like, everybody has to have ADD in League of Legends. What is
he's
this?
Experience.
Oh, man, they wanted that grab. Actually hops over the walls. Not able to get a pop-up, but that stun is going to follow us up. Zombie side very, very low at this point. Has the cleanse. Will he be able to get out of this? Looks like J4 is going to back off. Not go in for the kill. That was very, very close. I think Jarvan lost a little bit of patience there, too, in the process of that.
Yeah, Caitlyn could have gone in and got that. The tower was going to switch on a creep so as soon as Jarvan walked out, so Caitlyn could have just kept walking in and eventually got that kill as soon as Piltover came back up.
Yeah, it's also one of those scenarios like I was talking about a little bit, like the hook came out, and it would have almost been better if she just ate the hook and just to let them pull them in, then get the focus so they came in that little bit closer. Probably could have been able to pick up that kill. And Jarvan going pretty aggressive in this top lane. That's what you like to see.
Yeah, Pantheon going hard
man,
top.
drop landing.
This'll hit. No cooldowns.
Yeah, nothing to follow it up with. And now Rengar a little bit on the hunt. We might see a leap in, but now they're both kind of in that situation. We can both leap, but Pantheon has the upper hand because he cannot be seen currently. So looks like for now at least we're gonna have the Mexican standoff. But Sejuani coming up here might need to be a little bit careful. He's already beating feet, but will we see no ult actually gonna come in? But Ghost is gonna come in the slow. Oh, just barely short. Not gonna be able to wrap it up. But Pantheon sufficiently zoned.
Yep.
We see that Spike's upgrade is first for Hawkeye as well in that mid lane.
Yep, as expected. Wait till level 11 until he starts to go off, which is probably about the same time we'll start to see some fights. Jarvan diving the top.
Jarvan making some plays. Doesn't have Ignite though, so can't finish it off. Oh man, I thought he was going to have a kill for sure there. It looks like we're going to see a 20 health Rengar run away with his life.
The second time, basically.
Stun coming on to Misfortune in this bot lane. Caitlyn's going to actually start off with damage onto Thresh, though. And nice little suck in there. Try to get a little bit of damage onto Tark. But this bot lane pretty much in New Pound and Bathroom Balrog's court right here.
Yes.
Jumping on the mid lane. That's Syndra not having an easy time here.
Sejuani walking into a bush toward Pantheon in the bush while that happened, taking it down.
Who wants boar for dinner?
Yeah, Syndra's going down as well.
Yeah, pretty much locked up, and she doesn't have a lot of room to kind of farm there with how much Shrasan, just Hawkeye just whittling her down low and lower.
Chose to go Chalice.
Interesting.
Gives some mana sustain, but I would have liked to see the Seeker's Arm Guard there. That's why that item's there. Just made counter champions like Kha'Zix.
Yeah, definitely would have liked to see that actually come out from her instead. But alas, apparently just wanted to go for that mana so she could spam a little bit, but she's been behind for so much. It's kind of, I feel like it's one of those scenarios where they're used to a build and they go it, but it's not necessarily optimal for every matchup. And so since just used to going it just on autopilot kind of and running that build out instead of trying to match what her lane opponent is. That's something that we see actually a lot in League of Legends. A lot of people just following guides, not necessarily knowing why something's built or picked or whatever in some scenarios. Although the guides are getting a little bit better. Chris actually has their LoL Pro guides, which a few of them actually have like alternate if then what you're facing against that are pretty helpful. But we're seeing those get better as well as the knowledge in the community gets more prevalent at least. But J4 coming in here, leaped over by Kha'Zix, but still gets to land. Pantheon ult coming in, man drop inbound is going to land onto Kha'Zix, is going to be able to clean up the kill, and they're going to be able to get Sejuani more than likely. So nice little pick up there by Security Metrics, very well coordinated, and boom, just like that, action.
Yeah, very nicely done there from the three of them. They're able to pick up those 2 kills. Pantheon is doing really well in a relatively low farm game, with the exception of Caitlyn.
Yeah, at this point, Caitlyn, the only one really farming up, but a lot of pressure. Here comes J4 yet again with that red buff, popping up Thresh. Thresh is all but dead. Ace in the hole, going to be able to clean that one up. Bullet time trying to cover the tree, but not enough. Pantheon with that ever sustaining pressure. Going on to Rengar yet again, and not a lot of farming room for Curse in that top lane, where we kind of see the opposite in the mid lane, at least coming in from Hawkeye's side.
Yeah, Hawkeye's doing a really good job in that mid lane again, just like last game. The Syndra having a little more trouble than the TF did.
Yeah, a lot more trouble really, just because it's the matchup. I don't think they were prepared for that matchup to quite come in to play, and they couldn't. It's not even something where you could really rotate, because you rotate her top and then she's dealing with Rengar. It's like the same kind of problem. So
I was thinking about that, and it's just like, well, Pantheon's gonna beat one of them, and Syndra's gonna lose to one of them.
Yeah, it's kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't.
Yep. Oh, a little bit of a dive there from Hawkeye. Doesn't commit all the way though.
Yeah, I think he was just out of range to really do a full commit there. To missed a little bit of the damage there. And now I see Pantheon slowly backing off out of it, but Rengar needs to be careful, because it's one of those scenarios where you could easily be like, he hops the boar and then hops onto Rengar and is able to pick him off, and then Sejuani doesn't really have damage to go toe to toe. Hawkeye coming in here a little bit is going to take some damage too, and they really can't deal with this Pantheon.
No.
Pantheon has their number.
Yeah, no, as soon as he completes that Brutalizer too, it's going to get worse. Although Kha'Zix almost has a tier and almost a Brutalizer. Pantheon must be packing a decent amount of gold. Yeah, 1700.
Yeah, 1700 is pretty good. He's 3-0-1, so pretty healthy there. Kha'Zix trying to come out of the Syndra. Oh, he actually ults to try to get in there and possibly get the kill, but now he's just trying to run from this Jarvan, who's poking him down as much as he can. Syndra actually is going to be able to escape. Pantheon actually man-dropping above. Oh no, Hawkeye, he's running around, gets flagged. Pantheon coming around the bottom side, and great chase by Chops. Chops basically had him dead to rights, their entire team. And poor Sejuani running into a bush just to get skewered yet again.
Frag Bait Elite doing an expert job of baiting.
Yes. That is his job basically this game, because at this point 0-1 and 2 getting picked on in mid lane. That's the way to go, and they've actually fed up this Jarvan pretty well, 4-0 and 2 to match up with this Pantheon. This Caitlyn's actually farming up like a monster in this bot lane.
Yeah, they look like they're going to build a similar lead like they did last game. See if... I think they're just going to go pure damage. I really don't see them building any tank items.
Yeah,
maybe
nothing really significant coming out from Curse's side either, as far as item goes, to really be afraid of at this point. So it makes sense they could just get to those really big tier damage items a little bit quicker, and then that item timing will be really strong against what Curse is currently building up, and they'll probably be able to snowball pretty hard out of this, like you were talking about.
Yeah, we see a combined 3-level advantage between the two of them bot lane. So Sejuani's going to come in here and try and help, but was pinged out from a ward. Does she have ults? She doesn't. She's in that fight mid.
Yeah, if this gets stalled long enough, they're going to get to turret pretty much with full health. But I was going to say, if this gets stalled long enough and J4 is able to get in on this, could be a lot of trouble. And they're still run down here, dazzle away from Thresh, and Thresh is a goner. Pretty much at this point. Actually eats a trap of all things onto Misfortune. I think we might see Coliseum onto Misfortune. Yes, we are going to see that. Flash out afterwards. Flash after by Jarvan is going to be able to clean up the kill. Going to be able to give up his life, but they are going to be able to convert a 3-for-1 trade underneath turret as far as this goes. Looks like Hawkeye trying to rotate down, might try to jump on to someone and pick off a kill. We do see that Caitlyn is really low on mana, so this might be able to go down, but Ping is going down on him. They do know he is coming in. They will have a Dazzle up for him to try to get some distance and trade with him. Alt coming in to close a little bit of distance, actually goes on to Tark to start this off. Damage getting refocused onto Noobhound, but Noobhound just easily backing off this, poking away as much as he can, and Hawkeye really just not able to just tear down one single target quite yet.
Nope. If they were in different bushes, he might have had a chance in that fight, but with them in the same bush, they played that really well. Pantheon diving in behind. He's in trouble now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, nowhere to go in that one. But tried to make the right choice as best as he could. But yeah, that's Pantheon man-moding around the map. Pretty much what you expect. In Thresh, doesn't even want to actually leash Noobhound if he had the chance. We actually see Iggy coming around the backside yet again. Might see another dive, especially off after this push. Gets landed in there. Heartseeker Strike comes in. Ignite already on there. Tons of burst damage coming out, and Pantheon's going to clean this up by himself. Flashes out. Sejuani going to get some slows in there, but Tark's going to be able to back him up as well. And again, Sejuani just really has no damage, so even though she's getting some stuns in there, some good CC, not able to clean up Pantheon at all. Bullet time coming in. Pantheon dodges a little bit of it, actually kites back into it. But now, again, 3v1s repeatedly right now, at least in security metrics favors, so... They'll take those odds. We'll take those odds.
Yeah. Pantheon running out of mana, otherwise MF would have been dead as well. Would have continued around. And caught up at the blue buff there. Kha'Zix might be able to get this one. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, count it. Dungathon 2K. We see J4 actually taking over top lane now. Really quick anticipated flash out by Rengar. Knew what was up there. Gets out of the dodge, and now we see Kha'Zix focusing yet again onto Syndra. Syndra trying to slow him down, pushes him away actually. Gets actually some good bang for a buck out of that. Not getting taken out too bad, but J4 coming back in here. Gonna clean up that kill underneath turret and just looking sick. Chops cleaning it up right now.
Yeah, Chops dominating the game like he did last game. Just, whoa, nice ult there. Not gonna pick it up though.
Yeah, if it had the push a little bit earlier in position and got the stun off, that would have got a kill. But
yeah,
just not enough.
Nope. You can see MF be able to get this tower here. I think she should be able to get it.
Yeah, it's going to be close. We're going to have to see here. But Pantheon down middle yet again. Gets the stun off on the Hawkeye. Gets the damage in. Heartseeker strikes. Leap by Hawkeye to get the jukes in. Will he be able to get away, though? Nope. Walks back into Syndra. Syndra being able to catch that one out. Nice attempt there by Hawkeye to try to get out of a bad situation. But really, Pantheon just goes where he pleases at this point. Being a big, huge map bully. And,
Pantheon and Jarvan are just going to dive everyone for the rest of the game. Don't expect them to stop. They might go down a few times, but they're going to pull a lot of people with them.
Yeah, you can see right now.
There's another one.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Nowhere is safe. Syndra trying to
Didn't
follow
quite
that
get
back up.
that.
But yeah, they're going to be able to get the turrets for it. Alt's coming in. Going to be able to try to stop out a little bit here, but they don't care. Not really slowing them down. Rengar, meanwhile, pushing that top turret, trying to make something happen. But in the bot lane, a lot of dive going on. Thresh getting caught out here in between a rock and a hard place. Jarvan trying to run him down. Is going to Coliseum very, very nicely and be able to catch MF as well. Slows going in here. And now the Dazzle's going to seal the deal. Looks like Noobhound's going to be able to finish off Zombie side. And kind of Tyler Durden it a little bit. The strike codes have been entered. They've taken down a bunch of turrets. And, pushing this game pretty hard.
Yeah, they're, like I said, as soon as I finish saying, they're just going to continue to dive for the rest of the game. They dive 2 lanes.
Yep. Dive-a-thon 2K. That's what this game has turned into now. No longer League of Legends.
It's just going to be dive central.
Oh, Kha'Zix
nice
being
pickup.
sneaky. Syndra thinking that, oh, maybe he's running away. This is not too bad. He actually gets the reset. Will he be able to get out of this, though? I don't know. Stun's coming in. Turret is down, so he doesn't have that to run to. Sejuani coming in, trying to give some backup. Noobhound caught out a little bit with damage. Will they be able to seal it off? They're not going to be able to do it. And again, Sejuani, no damage. Doesn't matter. Noobhound able to sustain through that. And it was pretty close. Some nice attempts there again by Hawkeye, trying to make some plays.
Yep. It's pretty much the same thing that happened last game. Just the rest of his team's just too far behind to be able to make a big impact. And he's making some nice plays, but the security metrics teams always just seems to be in the right place.
Yeah, they do. They're playing really, really, really well, and they're actually one of those teams that we're going to have to definitely be looking forward to in the future. I believe in a couple weeks they do have a pretty good matchup. I've already been pinged about it, so we'll have to see in the meantime. But again, the team to beat right now in League of Legends, we're going to see Curse just tap out right now at 20 minutes, which is probably a pretty good idea. Security metrics rolling this one pretty early compared to the last game. So security metrics winning this best of 3, playing out pretty well. Fun game. Glad everybody looks like a lot of players had some fun, at least in that first game especially. So again, I'm Paddo from RaiseYourWeaponMedia. Happy to have the ThePimpImp joining me out here. And I think this actually will be our last game of the night. GG to everyone. These will be on our YouTube, youtube.com/RaiseYourWeaponMedia. You'll be able to find them all in the AHGL Season 3 playlist, along with a lot of other games if you want to go back, look up other teams, research, do all that fun stuff. So definitely check it out. Yeah, so that's it for me. Any last words, ThePimpImp?
No, I was pretty happy that they actually did play out that best of 3, that they were kind of trolling about in chat there. Good sportsmanship from both teams, and really fun games to watch all day today from everybody that was playing in the AHGL, and I enjoyed casting.
All right, so that's going to be it for the night. Everybody have a fun Monday, I guess. Maybe you'll be watching some of the replays from this weekend, but also definitely check out Match of the Week, which will be at 5 p.m. PST tomorrow on twitch.tv/ESEA. We'll be doing that for the ESEA League.